Hi guys, Clara here, and today I'll be doing another episode of Create This Book. I have pre-selected 5 pages to work on. My first choice was an easy one, as the music-inspired page was specifically requested in a past comment. Sorry it took so long for me to get around to it. Chances are you already finished this page, but hopefully this will still benefit someone out there. I'm actually glad this page was requested because it's one of the ones I've been avoiding, as I've always felt stuck with this prompt. I didn't just want to draw some music notes or instruments and call it a day, but I've never had any ideas jump out at me. Now that I had a reason to finish this page, I took some time to ponder what kind of songs to listen to or how I could incorporate different types of music, but I got nowhere. Then I figured I was probably overthinking this entire thing and maybe I was missing the forest for the trees. I tried thinking about music in a very general sense, how music is just different types of sound waves, and each genre, each song is made of their own unique sound waves. Maybe I went too far in the opposite direction and circled back to overthinking, but now I had an idea of what I wanted to draw, so I went with it. I figured it'd be fun to imagine how, when we listen to music, there's different sound waves flowing around us, and the colors change based on the frequency or wavelength or whatever makes up a sound wave. Now, I'm not trying to be scientifically accurate in the slightest, so please refrain from pointing out how wrong I am. I just wanted an excuse to draw rainbow waves exploding from a person's head. I also chose to draw this person smiling since I am trying to actually follow the rule I gave myself for this book, which is draw a smile on every page. I've already forgotten to add it for some pages before, and I'll probably forget again, but not this time. I think this page turned out way better than I thought it'd be when I was just brainstorming, but I'm pleasantly surprised with the result. Thank you again for this request, and for anyone else, please feel free to suggest more pages. Maybe I'll actually get to it this year. I chose this next page because I wanted a nice and easy prompt to follow since I figured I could use a break after that first prompt. This page says to create an array of media and wants us to draw one object over and over using a different medium each time, which I thought sounded like a fun exercise. Now, if you couldn't already tell, I have a sunflower as my object of choice. It's been my favorite flower as long as I can remember, and I grow them every year in my backyard. Though I feel like my love for sunflowers can be traced back to watching Shrek as a child. I can't confirm it, but thinking about how many times I've watched that movie and how much I enjoy every scene that involves sunflowers, I wouldn't be surprised if that is where it all started. But I digress. Let's get back to this page and the mediums I've chosen. I figured I'd start out simple with pencil, and another basic was pencil crayon. A few of these mediums I've never really used before. I bought the water-based markers at a dollar store just for the heck of it, and if I liked them then great, but if not, at least it wasn't a huge investment. Honestly, I don't know the proper way to use them, so I can't really judge them. But they worked, and the markers never dried out, so I'll definitely try and use them more. I wasn't super excited to use acrylic paint for this page, even though it is my favorite medium, because then I'd be painting on printer paper, which is a terrible choice for acrylic paint. The paper definitely wrinkled a lot in this section, and I had to be careful to use a light hand. Another issue is that I record all my videos in a dark room with only these light boxes pointed at my desk. So when I was rummaging in the dark for paint, I accidentally grabbed yellow, red, green, and purple. Don't ask me why I didn't just turn on the lights or why I didn't just go back and grab a different paint. I'm a very stubborn person and also a little lazy. And I guess it wasn't really an issue. It's just weird mixing brown on purpose. Usually I achieve that through accident only, and that probably threw me off. Oh, and I just remembered another thing to complain about. I figured my love for sunflowers meant I didn't need to reference any photos, because obviously I would know my favorite flower by heart. But I overestimated myself, because halfway through the page, I realized all my flowers looked off, so I finally looked up some pictures and realized I apparently don't know what a sunflower looks like. I made the flower heads way too small and the petals way too triangular. And while I tried to increase the size of the flower head in the first few, they still look a little off. But considering there are so many different kinds of sunflower species and some do resemble what I drew, Let's just pretend that's what I was going for. This little sunflower was turning out so well. And then this happened. That petal was so bad, I just had to take a moment to collect myself before I could continue. Oh, and I also remembered the rule for this page too. Pretty proud of myself for that. I figured making all of the lines thicker would disguise my mistake, and I think it worked out really well. I think this little smiley face sunflower turned out to be my favorite from this whole page. I didn't really want to add more flowers at this point, but the corners were so empty, so I grabbed oil pastel, which is my absolute least favorite medium. I figure I'm not using the correct technique for them, but I still hate it and will probably continue to avoid using it. The charcoal sticks, on the other hand, I didn't mind. There's definitely a learning curve, but I could see myself using these more regularly. A big thing I didn't like about the last two mediums is how much they transfer. I couldn't just leave them like that, so I figured taping over them would be the easiest option. And this page didn't turn out half bad. I didn't enjoy doing it, but I'm glad it gave me the chance to use more mediums, and I'm glad that's now over. Oh yeah, and my nail polish at this point was looking pretty rough, and I couldn't possibly continue with fingers looking like this, so I gave myself a quick refresh before moving on. Now this next page I was really looking forward to. A page full of unusual shapes. It just seemed like such a mindless activity, and I could give my brain a break after my last easy page turned into a slight headache. My vision was a rainbow flowing across the page. I wanted irregular shapes in every color fitting together as one color transitioned into the next. I also didn't want to leave the construction paper edges raw. That doesn't sound right, but I outlined every shape with its corresponding color in marker. Except for orange. The orange required a pink marker, as the orange marker looked very red. Not that it matters or that anyone cares. Anyway, turns out this idea is not a mindless activity and actually involved a lot of planning. This may or may not surprise you, but if I total the amount of hours it took to complete all 5 pages that I would do this episode, and then divided them up in a pie chart, well, this page was probably half the pie. I really thought this would be simple. What I didn't anticipate was this page turning into an open-ended puzzle. And don't get me wrong, I love puzzles. I have a closet full of puzzles. But those puzzles have structure. This puzzle is chaos. The first few pieces are easy. They lull you into a false sense of calm. But then you have to think about where the color transitions, so that every color takes up a proportional section of the page. And where the shapes fit together, they have to leave an adequate gap between the shapes. But not too much space, or it looks like they don't fit together. But not too little space, where the shapes become too crowded. And what if I use one shape here, but then it could have worked so much better if I saved it for this spot that I'm trying to fill now? Anyone else's heartbeat racing? So yes, this page required more effort than I originally thought, but the result definitely makes up for the hours I spent trying out every single shape in every single spot for hours on end. Or that's what I tell myself. And don't you worry, I didn't forget my rule either. I noticed this shape in the instruction kind of looks like a creature's head, so I thought I would make it a happy one. And I think it still follows the rules for the page not having anything recognizable, but you can be the judge of that. Moving on, this next page has an interesting prompt. Coat your fingers with ink, paint, or charcoal and smear the colors across the page. I figured since I didn't have ink, paint sounded like a messy nightmare, and I already had the charcoal out from earlier, the choice was easy. Paint. No. Charcoal. I also decided having 2 smaller drawings would be easier to add to the book later. Plus, it allowed me to tape off a white border, since that makes any drawing look better. Both drawings will be landscapes, but since I have more space to fill with the one on the right, I cut a circle out of a piece of painter's tape to mask out an area where I want to add a moon later. As for the charcoal, I used sandpaper to create some charcoal dust ready for smearing. I didn't want to just use my fingers since I figured I wouldn't be able to get the amount of detail I was aiming for. I also used a crumpled up piece of paper towel to dab and smudge, as well as the actual charcoal stick to deposit a lot of color onto the page at once. Hopefully this isn't cheating, but I guess even if it technically does break the rules of the prompt, it is a lot more fun this way. I could also be overthinking the entire purpose of this book too. I am very much a person who likes rules and structure and appreciates clear and concise guidelines to follow. I like being sure I'm doing something correctly. I mean, part of the reason I wanted to do this series is because I like that each page gives you a direction, as I find most of the time starting anything can be the hardest part. On the other hand, once I get going, it's easy for me to get carried away and finish a project before realizing it's now dark outside and man, is my stomach growling. Maybe once again I've strayed far from my original point, but I'm not too sure what point I was trying to make again. Oh yeah, rules. I tend to fault myself if I'm not following the instructions exactly, when I'm sure the actual point is to start, to come up with ideas that are out of your comfort zone, even if you have to bend the rules to get there. Speaking of rules, I completely forgot about my rule for this page, but I'm gonna give myself a pass here, seeing as I'm trying to be less strict on myself. And I would hate to insert a doodle into these pretty landscapes. I also left this clip in of me showing you how dirty my fingers got, not because it's interesting, but to give you context for why the rest of the clip is out of focus. Thankfully, we are almost done, and you'll soon be able to actually see what I'm doing. And since we are dealing with charcoal, I need to seal these drawings before I add them into the book if I want them to last for more than 5 minutes. I thought the tape might ruin them, but I think it actually made the charcoal look better. And as for the extra tape I had to add to the neighboring page, that is a problem for future me. Now I absolutely love how these drawings turned out, and I feel like I might be open to trying charcoal on another page in the future. And now I have made it to the last page. Now this page is asking us to create a dedication to something, and I knew as soon as I saw this page what I would be drawing. It's my current obsession, frogs. I don't know what it is about them, but I love them and their little ugly faces. Since I used construction paper to cover the page, I can't just draw frogs over the water. So my plan is to draw everything on another piece of paper with a pencil, trace over the pencil with a fine tip black marker, erase the pencil, color everything in with a mix of pencil crayon and water-based markers, cut out each object individually, and then finally glue everything into place on the page. Easy enough. I had a lot of fun designing and drawing all of my frogs. I had this scene in my head that I was trying to piece together one frog at a time. I didn't want the page to just be a bunch of frogs randomly glued onto some blue paper. I wanted everything to be interconnected. I wanted there to be some frog lore, if you will. I want backstories and relationships. I want it to be interesting to look at wherever you end up on the page. Maybe I'm being a little overzealous with my expectations, but with the amount of hours I've already sunk into my seemingly easy pages, I'm thinking I might as well commit to putting way too much thought and energy into this page. And surprisingly, this page did not feel like it took forever. Maybe because I very much enjoy drawing all these weird looking frogs, but I have to say this page might turn out to be in my top 5 for this entire book. I don't think I've thought of ranking my pages before, but I really do want to put out more episodes sooner because I really want to do a completed flip through of this book. I haven't even looked at the pages I've completed previously. I mean, besides glances when I'm flipping through to a new page, because I'm not allowing myself a premature flip through while I still have so much book left to finish. Maybe that sounds strange, maybe I'm being a little mean to myself, but I don't want to give myself a sneak peek. I want to earn the privilege of a flip through. If I look at all the completed pages now, it removes that extra motivation to complete the book for myself. I also get a lot of motivation from you watching. It's pretty cool that people want to see these episodes. And if anyone ever has a request for a specific page, you bet your butt I'll get it done the next chance I get. It's the least I can do to show my appreciation for your support. Okay, so I've gone off topic a lot in this video, but back to the frogs. After everything is drawn, outlined, colored, and cut, it's time to assemble our scene. But first, I know this video is almost done, but I just cannot stand ending this episode with nails that look like this. So just one more quick refresh, and I am officially ready to put this page together. Cutting everything out probably took just as long as it did to draw and color them, but I think the final product is worth it. It gives the page a very cartoony-ish look, which I am loving. And with the final lily pad added, our little frog family is complete. But something is missing. Ah, there. Water ripples were a much needed finishing touch. I think it ties everything together quite nicely. And as for this much anticipated backstory, there's not much. This is a frog on a log. No complaints that he can think of. Not that there is much thinking going on in the first place. And these are two young frog friends playing a game called Lily of Chance. They close their eyes, swim deep underwater, and float up to the surface. Now this frog is contemplating life. He's only interested in the important things. What is a frog? Do I have to eat bugs? Why am I the only one sitting cross-legged? This frog is just enjoying life, showing off their jumping skills for anyone interested. This frog is interested, but not for jumping. They seem to have a thing for the pond bad boy. He has no cares and all the confidence, letting it all hang out for everyone to see, as if his presence is the true gift to this pond. And this frog is sick of this guy's crap and sees right through his cool guy persona. He has better things to do than give this guy any more attention, yet he can't help but throw a little side eye his way. Whereas this frog is completely oblivious to the fact that his croaking is attracting no one. Poor guy. Lastly, this frog is just enjoying watching the pond activity, especially the impressive jumping skills of this one frog that always seems to appear nearby. Alright, I'm done. I am frogged out. I've created enough drama in this pond, and I won't give myself a chance to add any more. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know which pages I should do next, but other than that, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. Bye!